to Charles Schumer, Congress, and the move to try and codify abortion. They don't have the votes, so obviously this is a symbolic move that they think they need to take. Your reaction?
Well, I'm puzzled. It's symbolic of their disrespect for the U.S. Constitution. Perhaps they did not read Samuel Alito's draft opinion. But to paraphrase the very first page of that opinion, he said there are powerful arguments in support of abortion, powerful arguments against abortion, and powerful arguments for abortion with limits. He said it is not up to the 9 justices on the Supreme Court to make that decision. It is up to the people of the individual states to do that. So when Chuck Schumer says that Congress should codify Roe v. Wade, I'm looking here at the U.S. Constitution, and I'm wondering which of the enumerated and limited powers outlined in this Constitution does Charles Schumer think about? Which one gives Congress the right to do this? I don't think any of them. They do not give Congress the right to legislate on this matter any more than Congress has the right to, for example, require all people to get vaccines if you're talking about health care. So the point is that the Alito decision does not make a decision about abortion. It asks the people of the individual states to make that decision, just as they have in Europe. If you look at the European Union, it's a diverse group of nations with different viewpoints. And each country has made its own decision. The abortion laws in the UK are very different from the abortion laws in Poland, for example.
Yes, and and staying here though stateside, I wanted to get your reaction also to what we've been seeing erupting. Fortunately, there have been little to no violence with the protests. There was an outburst in LA. Protesters went to Nancy Pelosi's house in San Francisco saying she's not acting fast enough. Today, that pro-abortion organization Ruth sent us is hosting what's Walk by Wednesday of 6 conservative justices. Obviously, we hope there is no violence. But Betsy, even Glenn Youngkin tweeted he's been working with state police in Virginia, Fairfax County, where Samuel Alito lives, where protesters, as you see right there, were in front of his house. Some are saying it's actually illegal, not just in Virginia. They said he should be doing more, but there is the federal law that you cannot intimidate justices. So when is the DOJ, when is the DOJ going to get involved? Can you imagine if this was someone, a conservative, saying go to a Democrat's house, go to their, family's house and protest?
That's right. These protests are against the law. Generally, people have a First Amendment right to protest, but federal statutes specifically prohibit demonstrations and protests outside the home of a judge or a justice. So this is a violation of the law. And of course, this all started with a real assault on the spirit of the law that leak out of the Supreme Court, our most hallowed legal institution, started this whole thing. And that too shows great disrespect. So I would say that people on all sides, and there are many sides to this issue, should at least agree to respect the law and come to a peaceful conclusion.